Hello, my name is Ana Garcia, and I will be presenting the introduction to our case study. Some background information on our client. Our client's name is Doris, and she's a 29-year-old female of American descent. She grew up in a home where her father was a reformed alcoholic, but however, he was a heavy drinker when she was younger, so it was something that affected her. Her father's a strict fundamentalist, and her parents come from a very religious background. Both of them do. She is the younger of two siblings, but her brother has always been the favored child, and he's currently enrolled in the Army. The client grew up with high emphasis on the importance of marriage. However, she experienced that the woman always played the submissive role opposed to the man having more importance in it. The client is currently married and she has a 6-month-old baby boy, but however, she's experiencing nothing but tired feeling ever since giving birth. She says she had a normal pregnancy and that the only symptom she's had apart from being tired is lack of motivation. The client reports feeling exhausted. She says she has had a brief history of sexual affairs with not only her coworkers but with also some of her clients. The client has high intentions of not only leaving her husband behind but also her 6-month-old baby boy. The client is lacking emotion but is experiencing a heightened sense of exhaustion. She is experiencing instability within her relationship with her husband and reports having the extramarital affairs that were previously mentioned. She is currently not accepting responsibility for the actions she's portraying, and she's just basically caught in a web of relationships, both romantic and familial. She's currently focusing too much on past actions and letting those affect her right here and now in the present time.
In order to help Doris with her current situation, we decided to go with the Gestalt therapy. Gestalt therapy has a goal of helping its clients to gain awareness of what they are experiences and the here and now. So we want the client to make sure that they focus on what's happening now and not make sure that their past doesn't affect their now and any future decisions that they make, and also that they know that the future has not yet arrived and that they shouldn't be looking too far ahead, so that it doesn't become all jumbled up in their head and they don't have to handle situations that haven't even arisen yet. So we want Doris to become more aware of those situations. So our goal with Gestalt therapy with Doris would be to increase her awareness with herself, to help her to gain ownership of her actions and experiences, and to help her accept any responsibilities for those actions, including any of the consequences that may follow with those actions that she has. So we want Doris to become more aware of anything that she has done recently that she's coming to help for us, and how it is affecting her in the now, and how her situation, her husband and her child can become better through this therapy. Some of the techniques that we chose to include for Gestalt therapy are staying with the feelings, so that we can emphasize the non-aspect of things, so that when we tell Doris to stay in the feeling with how she's feeling about that situation now, she can know to just focus on the now and not why she's feeling like that. And then we also chose to do exaggerative exercise, so that this can raise awareness of the client and any the exercises or activities or actions that she does, so that she can be aware of where these actions stem from and why she's doing them. And we thought that Gestalt therapy would be the best for Doris because she has not taken responsibility for any of her actions that she's done since moving to Houston, and we want her to start deciding that these actions are the best thing for her with the situation that she's in right now with her husband and child. But we also want her to assume responsibilities for the actions, not just push them aside, but also to focus on what's happening around her and not let her past trouble her and what is happening now.
Good morning, Doris. Welcome. Can you tell me what is going on with you as of right now?
Good morning. Well, I've been having a little feelings of anxiety, and I don't know if it's the pressures that my husband's putting on me. He's telling me to get another job because of his failed music career that he came to, be here for, or it's because I just had a baby not too long ago. I've been feeling nothing but tiredness and exhaustion. It's literally all I've been feeling, and it's just a lot of stress. And it's literally doing nothing but sleeping. So.
Okay, so I want you to focus on your current moment and the situation you're feeling right now. Tell me what it's making you feel.
Honestly, I guess it's making me feel a little upset. Like I can feel how hot I'm getting from like thinking about it, and like how exhausted, like all the exhausted feelings and everything are coming back just because, I just want to get away from it and like just leave it all behind. Honestly.
Okay, so I see that you're clasping your hands a lot and you're gripping them very tightly. Can you tell me what that's about?
It's something that I picked up on from my mom. Growing up, it's pretty much a means of like controlling anger. When my mom would get frustrated with my dad, she would do it, and my dad was very strict. He preferred my younger brother over me, and like I would get frustrated with that a lot. So I picked up on it from my mom.
Okay, so I want us to explore this movement a little more and like just exaggerate it. Do it how you feel, how you're comfortable. Just exaggerate the motion. How does doing that make you feel?
I mean, like looking at it now, it makes me feel a little silly, just because of the environment that we're in right now. I guess like sometimes I feel like I should be a little bit more professional at times, and like just then that makes me feel kind of silly.
So this makes you feel silly. Can you tell me more of why?
Well, I guess I find myself in a situation where I have no control, and it's literally a situation I find myself wanting to leave, and just to keep being put in that situation makes me very unhappy and uncomfortable.
Okay, so now you're covering your face with your hands. Can you explain to me why you're doing that?
It was something that I picked up on as an escape mechanism, really. When I was younger, like I told you, my father was very strict, and when he would scold me, it was my way of getting away from everything, if only for a minute.
So instead of calling them they, why don't we acknowledge what they are and personalize your hands and the action?
I mean, not they, but they're covering my hands are covering my face as an escape from doing. I'm doing this because, like I told you, my dad, he was very strict, and when I would find myself in situations that I didn't feel happy and comfortable, it was a way of holding myself together and like taking a step back and just not crying and like not feeling all emotions and everything. So that's what my hands do.
Okay. So let's look at the door and pretend that your parents are walking in right now. What would you say to them?
I mean, I guess I started saying sorry for disappointing you, but I don't want to be in a relationship where I feel like I have to give up so much, and I don't think that it's a great thing because it's greatly affecting me. So, I'm sorry that I'm disappointing you, but it's not the best thing for me.
Okay. So instead of calling them they, why don't we call them what they are, mom and dad, and then express what you're feeling?
Alright. Mom, I don't want to be like you are in a relationship that you have with dad. I know that you both think that marriage is something that is sacred and shouldn't result in divorce, but I don't think it's best for me in the situation that I'm in right now. Dad, I know that you're feeling a little more angrier than mom because you've always been the stricter one, but I can't be somewhere where I'm not happy and it's leading me to want to leave my husband and son behind and not be in the best situation that is for my family. And as of now, like I don't want to completely leave because I don't think that I have the means to support myself, but I also don't think that Alex has the means to support the baby. But I don't think that it's 100% okay for me to be there.
Okay. So, well, now that we've gotten to explore some of those feelings, can you compare what you're feeling now to what you felt when you first came here? Do you think you're feeling a little better, or are you feeling any change at all?
I mean, after talking about it, I think that I'm feeling a little better and like I'm prepared to start working on some things, but I'm not 100% set to stay and ready to stay. But I think that it's something that I can work on for the betterment of both my life and my child, and hopefully for the benefit of my husband.
Okay. Well, Doris, sometimes we find ourselves in situations that we don't necessarily like, but we can't let our past dictate our current actions. I think what we need to do is have you come back next week and we're going to explore these feelings a little more, spend some time with your baby, and put your foot down when it comes to your husband, making you feel that way, like express what you're feeling. Don't keep it to yourself. And I will see you next week and we will work on a deeper resolution then.